Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. For today's video, I came across this article titled "One Question for Each NBA Team Heading into Training Camp." So yeah, guys, there's a lot of unanswered questions left going into the NBA season that teams are going to have to figure out along the way if they want any chance to win an NBA championship or at least be competitive this upcoming NBA season. So I thought we'd go through each of these questions. I would give you guys my quick answer on them. Guys, give me your answers in the comment section below for your favorite team. Or if you want to do all 30, you can also do that too, man. Type a little essay if you want to, and bitch-ass Professor Crispy will grade it. Probably not, man, but still. Okay, so if you guys don't mind dropping a quick like on this video, that would be greatly appreciated. And let's just go ahead, talk some basketball, and get started on this. So we have the Atlanta Hawks. And the question is, just how bad will the Hawks be? Well, you got Trae Young. Jeremy Lin gonna start, maybe, or is gonna be Kent Bazemore. You got Taurean Prince, who I do like. John Collins, hopefully he takes another step this season, not a setback. You got Dwayne Dedmon. So yeah, they're not gonna be very good. This season they will sell more tickets because people are gonna want to see Trae Young play. But I do think he is going to struggle his rookie season until he develops a better basketball IQ, and just the pacing of the game of the NBA is different in college. Some things you get away with in college, there is no way you will get away with in the entire NBA. So yeah, man. How bad will they be? I mean, I expect them to be a bottom 3 team in the Eastern Conference, playing simple, and be right back in the lottery after this NBA season. For the Boston Celtics, the question is, what will the Celtics do with so many wings? Well, if there's ever been an era of basketball to have a ton of NBA wings, that would be right now, because as right now, man, you can get away with with a lot more different type of lineups out there from a small ball standpoint, and just the NBA is almost heading to a realm of just not being a position league where you can kind of get away with a ton of stuff out there. So I mean, you're gonna see times where Gordon Hayward might play shooting guard, he might play small forward, he might play power forward. You're gonna see times where Jason Tatum sometimes be at small forward, sometimes be at power forward, so stuff like that. Marcus Morris, his minutes might get dipped away, man. Plain simple, there's other guys out there outplaying him, then that's what's gonna happen. So yes, this team does have a lot of wings, but you can really play a wing at the shooting guard, small forward, or power forward position, depending on just how the team was looking out there. So yeah, man, I think if anybody was gonna figure it out, it would be Brad Stevens. Okay, next up we have the Brooklyn Nets, and this says, will this be Sean Marks' time to shine? So this is pretty much in terms of the whole Jimmy Butler wanting to go to the Brooklyn Nets. I'm gonna be quite honest. If you get Jimmy Butler, it better be one hell of a trade for you guys. You guys better come out on top of this trade. I'm not talking about trade way, no more draft picks. There is no way in hell that the Brooklyn Nets can make that same mistake again and just trade all these pieces away for Jimmy Butler. I would kind of be okay with them just staying put and not going for Jimmy Butler, because he's not going to make them an NBA contender. And you guys are just getting your draft picks back. You got a nice little thing going on with the Brooklyn Nets. I would just stay put and just, work on developing the young guys out there and getting some more, lottery picks and stuff like that. All right, next up we have the Charlotte Hornets. Will Malik Monk get more leeway in year 2? I sure hope so, because as of right now, the only player that team has is Kemba Walker, and we know what he is at this point. He's a 20-point, 6-7 assist guy out there when he's playing his best basketball. You also got Miles Bridges out there. I say you let Malik Monk and you let Miles Bridges start, and you just give these guys NBA reps out there and just work on the future and developing those guys, because you can go ahead and play somebody like Jeremy Lamb, who's more of an NBA veteran for your team. But how does that really help the team going into the future, which is what this team should be building towards, is the future. Malik Monk deserves more minutes. Maybe he doesn't need to start, but maybe at least a 6th or 7th man role. And him himself, though, he kind of needs to take that task at hand and work on improving his NBA game. All right, next up we have the Chicago Bulls. Can the young players make the best of their situation? So it says right there their age range is of 19 to 24, and they need to know that going into the season. You can have the confidence that you want to make the playoffs, and I think this Bulls team does have the talent to do so. It's not, they would be a first round exit. I mean, I don't see them getting past, a Toronto Raptors team or a Boston Celtics team, but I see them getting to the playoffs, best case scenario. And for them, that should be good enough for this first NBA season. Keep in mind that none of these guys are in their prime yet. So, it's all about building towards that season when all these guys kind of mesh together, been playing for a few seasons. So yeah, just work on the chemistry and work on that stuff. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, what will life without LeBron James be like? Well, I can't imagine it's going to be all good, man. I don't think the team's going to make the playoffs. There's going to be times where Kevin Love is going to have Kevin Love-esque games, where he might drop 20 points, 12 rebounds. there's going to be other times where, you know, he's the focus point of the defensive game plan. So it's like, is he going to be able to play like Timberwolf Love out there and still put up those type of numbers? I don't think so. I honestly see Kevin Love getting injured this season and missing a ton of time, and just this Cleveland Cavaliers team just falling off. I mean, it is what it is when you lose LeBron James, and that, you know, you don't really have a good setup for your future outside of Colin Sexton. You know, it's not going to be good. I'm sorry, Cleveland Cavalier fans. For the Dallas Mavericks, we have, are the Mavericks in rebuild mode or win now mode? Well, what are they winning now, man? Because they definitely not in win now mode. I mean, you have a sophomore point guard, you have a rookie shooting guard that's never played, you know, or that's from like the Euro League. Yes, Luka Doncic is very good and everything, but he still has to develop into the game. You have old Dirk Nowitzki, Harrison Barnes, he's a third option on a championship team at best. And DeAndre Jordan, yeah, he's going to get you, you know, your 12 points and 13 rebounds a game. But I would say this team definitely is not in win now mode. I wouldn't quite say they're in rebuild mode either. They're kind of that awkward stage where they're not really good enough to win anything, but they're not bad enough where they should be tanking. So I'm gonna use this, guys. Trust the process, right? Trust the process, Dallas Mavericks. Denver Nuggets. Can the Nuggets make the leap? Well, they were literally one game away from making the playoffs last season. I think Jokic is going to be a top 15 player of the NBA this year. And, yeah, when you talk about that leap, are you talking about from not making playoffs to making playoffs? Because if that's the case, I totally see them being able to do that. At least get like a 7th seed, maybe an 8th seed in the Western Conference. But as far as being like a top 4 team, I don't think they're quite there yet. Maybe in the future, though, depending on what happens with these other NBA teams out there. For my Detroit Pistons, will Dwayne Casey be able to maximize the talent on a deadlocked roster? You know, the coaching can only do so much. But if there was any coach to do it besides maybe a Brad Stevens or a Greg Popovich, Dwayne Casey was coach of the year last year for the Toronto Raptors, despite getting fired. So I like our chances with him. You know, you have a whole entire offseason for Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond to continue to develop their chemistry. Reggie Jackson hopefully comes back healthy, completely healthy, because, you know, when he's healthy, he can average 18.7 assists per game. I mean, he's done it before, at least like around those numbers. Luke Kennard's a sophomore. Hopefully he can continue shooting like 41% from 3. Reggie Bullock's had a career high in 3-point shooting last season. So, I don't know, man. It's going to be all about the sets out there and also this team being motivated themselves. Golden State Warriors. What's the solution for potential exhaustion? You know, just, you know, after like winning so many championships and stuff. I would say that is being in the NBA, having a contract worth millions and millions of dollars, and having a chance to be a part of history and make history and just continue your legacy of being one of the, you know, greatest franchises and super teams in NBA history. So yeah, I mean, I never really understood the whole exhaustion thing. Like you all have a chance to make history here, like continue to make history. So I'll go with that. And plus DeMarcus Cousins, I mean, he never really won anything yet, so he should be more motivated than anybody. Houston Rockets. How will the Rockets cope with the roster changes? You know, man, losing Trevor Ariza and Luke out there, that's good. That's going to hit them hard because those were both guys that were those glue guys of a championship team that just, you know, man, they do all the right things out there. And with Melo on the team now, it's like, is he willing to be that type of player? I don't think he is. I think Melo is going into this mindset, going into the season with the mindset like, yo, I'm gonna be the third superstar of this team, and that's not going to win them a championship. So I don't know, man. It's going to be all about Melo's attitude because Melo could destroy the chemistry of this team. I don't think that Chris Paul and James Harden is going to totally allow him to do that. But they might not be as good as last season. We'll see, though, man. It definitely could. We'll definitely see about that. For the Pacers, how far can the Pacers' summer moves take them? Well, they got Tyreke Evans, who had probably his best NBA season, you know, playing for the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, that was on a very piss-poor team, so it's like, was he kind of stat-padded right there? Maybe a little bit, but I still think Tyreke Evans, you know, his shooting the 3-ball and stuff like that definitely improved. I think he'd be a nice, he's probably not going to start on this team because you're probably looking at Darren Collison starting at point guard, Victor Oladipo at the 2 spot. I'm not quite sure you want to use Tyreke Evans at the 3 spot as a starter, maybe off the bench. But I think Victor Oladipo is going to continue to develop. I mean, I can see in this man's eyes. He wants to be a superstar. Last season was that all-star leap. This season, I think he leaps to superstar. And this Pacers team, I'm predicting a top 5 seed in the Eastern Conference. I think they go very far, some of these roster moves. Next up, we have the Clippers. What's the Clippers ceiling? But they get Kawhi Leonard, well, you're looking at a championship contending team. If they don't get Kawhi Leonard, you're looking at a roster that I kind of compared to like the Miami Heat, where you have all these really good pieces. You just need that last piece to take them to the top. And that's exactly what the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Clippers are. So, yeah, their ceiling is being an all-star or a superstar away from really, man, being a top team out in the entire NBA. For the Lakers, what will life with LeBron look like? That's a good one, man. That's a good one because I'm curious how LeBron James adjusts to the Western Conference life. I mean, it's a different style of basketball out there, and you're playing a lot more competition night in and night out. I'm curious how he keeps the young bloods like Lonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma motivated, and not, I don't want to say motivated, but just focus. I think focus is the better word. So, he's gonna get his. I'm gonna say they'll probably be at least a 47 win team. They have potential to be greater than that. Depends how the rest of the guys play out there, though. Memphis Grizzlies. How will a healthy Grizzlies team fare? I actually like the Grizzlies when they're healthy. I mean, this team has not really changed in years. Like you're still like your big time players is Marc Gasol and Mike Conley. They also have what's his name, Jaren Jackson Jr., who I think is a nice fit alongside Marc Gasol. Dylan Brooks, he had a nice, I believe it was his rookie season last year. They got Kyle Anderson now, who can be kind of a Draymond Green-esque small forward. So, yeah, they have some nice veterans that know how to win basketball games. It's just a matter if, how far does that team take you now in this current era of the NBA? For the Miami Heat, will any players stand out above the rest? Not really thinking so. I'm being quite honest. Like, Hassan Whiteside, maybe he bounces back, becomes a little bit more motivated this season. Dragic is like 32, was an all-star last season because of like a player getting injured and stuff like that. But, I don't know, man. Like, Josh Richardson, Justice Winslow, players like that. I mean, they're good glue guys. They're good role players. I just don't see that next guy on the team to be like a superstar. Maybe Dwayne Wade decides to play like the Flash this final NBA season. Who knows? We got the Milwaukee Bucks. Can Mike Budenholzer find a solution for the Bucks' inconsistency problem? Well, Mike, you're a good coach, and you're probably the best coach they've had in quite a few NBA seasons. I mean, you have Giannis out there, who is one of the top 10 players in the NBA. You have Chris Middleton, who is a sure 20-point, 5-rebound guy out there. Brook Lopez is a veteran who knows how to score the basketball at center, can space the floor. So yeah, you lost Jabari Parker, but he wasn't really playing anyway, man. He was always injured. You got Malcolm Brogdon, former Rookie of the Year. This team has all the right pieces to do something special in the Eastern Conference, and that's really all they need as a coach, and they have one now. So yeah, I think they can do it. Okay, Minnesota Timberwolves. Will Jimmy Butler be there? No, he's going to be gone by the start of the NBA season, and the Timberwolves team is going to probably take a step back, but maybe that's a good thing because they're young. Maybe they'll get a lottery pick, and they'll just continue to develop things instead of trying to take a shortcut with Jimmy Butler that just did not mesh well with this young roster. For the Pelicans, how soon can we start the Anthony Davis for MVP campaign? Right now, man. I mean, literally any season DeMarcus Cousins has been completely healthy for, you could have made the case for him winning MVP. It's just, for some reason, big guys don't really win it anymore, man. It's more of a guard/small forward-esque league out there. Who is the last big guy to win MVP? It was probably somebody a lot sooner than I realized, and I'm just gonna look like an idiot, man. But I'm thinking like LeBron James, James Harden, Stephen Curry, Russell Westbrook. It seems like it's been a long time. So for some reason, just big guys, they don't always get, I don't know, man, just the good, like the recognition they sometimes deserve. For the Knicks, what will the front court look like? Well, if Kristaps Porzingis is out for an extended period of time, you're probably looking at a team of, Enes Kanter at at center, Kevin Knox. I'm thinking probably the power forward position to start. Of course, they'll go back to small forward once Porzingis is back. Maybe you go Tim Hardaway at the 3 spot and you try Mario Hezonja at the 2 or something along those lines. I really don't know. But yeah, it all depends on Kristaps Porzingis. But yeah, Kevin Knox will probably take over at power forward to start the NBA season, which could be kind of awkward. For the OKC Thunder, how will Melo's absence affect the team? Well, you get Roberson back, who's a big part of this team despite his lack of 3-point shot or shooting in general for being a shooting guard. I think this team is going to have a lot better chemistry. I really think that you go into the season now with Paul George realizing that he's the second best player, Russell Westbrook obviously being number 1, so it's you don't really have Melo in the corner of your eye being yo, should I pass to Melo? Or Melo being yo, I'm better than Paul George, I should take this shot. I think the chemistry is going to be off the charts. I think they're in for a good NBA season. For the Magic, can the Magic's 3 cornerstones coexist? So we're talking about Bamba, Aaron Gordon, and Jonathan Isaac. That's a very large front court. Jonathan Isaac's going to have to learn to be a better shooter. Aaron Gordon's also going to have to learn to space the floor and not really operate by slashing on the basket because Bamba's going to have to be on the inside. He's too tall and slow to really be on the perimeter. So, I don't know, man. I'm not really expecting much from the Magic this season except to maybe work on some of those chemistry issues going forward. Philadelphia 76ers. How will Markelle Fultz look? Probably a backup point guard, which kind of sucks for TJ McConnell because he's been pretty nice for that team the past few NBA seasons. But I think Markelle Fultz is just going to take things easy out there. It's he doesn't need to come on this team and be a superstar, which is good for him. Because a lot of times when you have that first round or that first pick overall, There's a lot of pressure for that guy to really be great right away. Markelle Fultz, man, take your sweet ass time, bro. Like, I know people are out there hating, calling you a bust. I think, I saw Markelle Fultz last year put up a triple-double, man, in very limited amount of time. So I know we can ball. I don't blame him for taking his time. For the Suns, can the Suns' young talent hang in the West? Where you all hanging out at, man? Because, can I come hang out? Because you ain't gonna be hanging out in the playoffs. That's not this season. That's not this season. I mean, you guys got something nice going on there. You got Devin Booker. You got DeAndre Ayton. We still got to see him play some ball out there. You got Josh Jackson, who I think could be nice still. Mikal Bridges looks like your ideal 3-and-D type of player. But y'all ain't got a point guard, man. Y'all don't got a point guard, and this is the point guard league. And small forward league, I'll say. But, yeah, y'all might be hanging out at, like, freaking Denny's at 3 a.m., hanging out, man, working on chemistry and stuff like that. But you ain't going to be hanging out in the playoffs. For the Portland Trail Blazers, is this the last shot for Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum? It has to be. And I can't even say, man, they'll get through the entire NBA season because this team struggles to, like, start the season. I could see one of those guys, probably CJ, being dealt. I don't know who for. I mean, realistically, man, like a CJ McCollum, Jimmy Butler swap wouldn't be too bad for both teams. Although I know Jimmy Butler don't want to play for the Blazers. For the Kings, it says, what the hell? That's kind of disrespectful. I mean, why y'all hating on the Kings for, man? It's like, you're doing okay out there. You're trusting the process. De'Aaron Fox is cool. Harry Giles could still be something. Buddy Hield's nice. Bogdan was one of the better scorers last season. You got Marvin Bagley. What y'all expect from teams, man? From the Kings, man? There's always going to be teams in the NBA that are going to be working on things and not be in the playoffs. Like, only 16 teams make the playoffs. The Kings, they're young. Give them 5 years. I know the Kings fans are probably sick of hearing that, but that's what it is like. For the Spurs, we have how much change can San Antonio handle? Outside of getting a all-star shooting guard DeMar DeRozan and losing a guy that didn't want to be on your team last year and didn't really play at all and not really helping getting in the playoffs, what other change happened? I mean, the Dejounte Murray's still going to be your point guard. LaMarcus Aldridge is still going to be an all-star caliber power forward. The center position kind of screwed, man. I think you also got Paul Gasol, right? You got DeMar DeRozan. I think this team's going to be good next season, guys. I really do. We got the Toronto Raptors. Which Kawhi Leonard will show up? Hopefully the one that wants to play basketball games. Because according to freaking 2K19, if Kawhi Leonard plays, this team going to win the championship every damn season. For the Jazz, other than Donovan Mitchell, who can substantially improve? I think Rudy Gobert has potential to add more to his offensive game. Because right now he's just kind of like a defensive rebounding beast. But I think the big guy that you really got to think about is, Derek Favors. Like, Derek Favors still has so much room to grow to be the ideal four alongside Rudy Gobert. And it's like, I know last year he was working on his three-point shot, his mid-range game. Those are some areas that can definitely improve. So yeah, man, I think Derek Favors is the big one right there. Washington Wizards. How will the Dwight Howard experiment fail this time? Whoa, okay, this man don't like Dwight Howard apparently. Well, let me just say this. Dwight Howard has to be at least as good as Marcin Gortat for this to work out for the Wizards. That's not too hard to do. Dwight Howard played great for the Charlotte Hornets last season, man. So yeah, it's kind of disrespectful, but it is what it is. And that is the end of the list, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this video, man. I love doing these little discussion videos just because I can talk some NBA basketball. So give me your thoughts on some of these in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.